Pop, pop, bloop, whoosh. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there lived a dragon who was afraid of his own fire. Can you believe it? A fire-breathing dragon scared of flames. Oh boy, what a pickle. This dragon, let's call him Sneezy because, well, you'll see, had a big problem. Every time he tried to roast a marshmallow or light a candle, he'd end up setting his own tail on fire. Ouch! Poor Sneezy would run around in circles, trying to blow out the flames on his backside. It was quite a sight. One day, while Sneezy was sulking in his cave, feeling all sorry for himself, he had an idea. A brilliant, bubbly idea. What if, instead of breathing fire, he could breathe bubbles? Yes, bubbles. Soft, floaty, and definitely not scary at all. So, Sneezy practiced and practiced. He puffed out his cheeks, scrunched up his nose, and, achoo, oops, a tiny flame shot out. But he didn't give up. He tried again and again until finally, achoo, a stream of shimmering bubbles floated out of his nostrils. Can you blow a bubble with your mouth? Try it now. Puff out your cheeks and blow gently. Did you make a bubble? Sneezy's bubbles were much bigger, of course. Dragon-sized bubbles. Excited about his new talent, Sneezy decided to share it with the world. He set up a big tent in the middle of the village and hung a sign that read Sneezy's Bubble Circus No Fire. Just fun. The villagers were curious. A dragon circus? Without fire? What could that be? When the tent flaps open, everyone gasped. There was Sneezy, balancing on a big rubber ball, juggling bubble wands in his claws. Welcome, welcome, he called out, to the world's first bubble circus. The show was about to begin when suddenly, achoo, Sneezy sneezed, sending a cascade of bubbles right into the face of a grumpy old knight in the front row. The knight's bushy eyebrows disappeared under a foam of bubbles, and everyone held their breath. What would he do? To everyone's surprise, the knight burst out laughing. His belly shook like a bowl full of jelly, and soon the whole tent was filled with giggles and chuckles. Even the most serious knights couldn't help but smile as Sneezy's bubbles floated around them, reflecting rainbows and making silly shapes. Sneezy's show was full of bubbly surprises. He made bubble animals: a giraffe with a long, wobbly neck, an elephant with a trunk that sprayed more bubbles, and even a bubble dragon that looked just like him. The children in the audience clapped and cheered, their eyes wide with wonder. But the best part was yet to come. Sneezy took a deep breath, puffed out his chest, and blew the biggest bubble anyone had ever seen. It grew and grew until it was as big as a house. The audience watched in awe as Sneezy gently floated inside the giant bubble, waving at them from within his transparent, shimmering ball. Just when everyone thought the show couldn't get any better, Sneezy had one more trick up his. Well, dragons don't have sleeves, but you know what I mean. He invited all the children to come into the ring. Now, he said with a twinkle in his eye, let's have a bubble party. With a mighty sneeze, don't worry, he covered his mouth. Sneezy filled the entire tent with bubbles of all sizes. The children laughed and danced, popping bubbles with their fingers and toes. Some of the braver kids even tried to catch bubbles on their noses. As the sun began to set, the villagers left the tent with big smiles on their faces. They had come expecting to see a scary dragon, but instead, they found a new friend. Sneezy's Bubble Circus became the talk of the town, and soon, people from far and wide came to see the amazing bubble-breathing dragon. Sneezy was happier than he'd ever been. He no longer feared his sneezes or worried about setting things on fire. Instead, he looked forward to each day, excited to bring joy and laughter to everyone he met. And so, as the stars twinkled in the night sky, Sneezy curled up in his cozy cave, surrounded by the soft glow of floating bubbles. He yawned, sending a few more bubbles drifting into the air. As his eyes began to close, he thought about all the fun he'd had and all the new friends he'd made. Now, as you lie in your bed, imagine Sneezy's bubbles floating softly around you, each one carrying a happy dream. Can you see them? Gently bobbing up and down, shimmering in the moonlight, and as they pop, one by one, they sprinkle you with magical dragon dust, helping you drift off to sleep. So, close your eyes and listen closely. Can you hear it? The soft pop pop and bloop of Sneezy's bubbles. They're here to carry you off to dreamland, where you might just meet a friendly dragon who loves to play and laugh, just like you. Sweet dreams, little ones. And remember, sometimes the scariest things in life can turn out to be the most wonderful surprises. Just ask Sneezy, the bubble-breathing dragon.